Hey friends, welcome back to the YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Oleg. This is one and only Mr. Bond. We love watches. A few months ago, I did a video of the best value for money watch I have ever reviewed. It was a Calvin Klein watch. That was the big negative of the watch, but the positives were the specs. It had a sapphire crystal. It was a Swiss-made watch from a Swatch group with the automatic ETA 2824 movement, and all of that under $200. Pretty crazy, huh? I bought the watch from Ashford.com. So a few weeks ago, one of the representatives from Ashford.com has reached out to us and said, hey, we have this other watch that's really good value for money. The watch is from Hamilton. Would you like to review it? I said yes, and here we are. Now, before we get started with the review of this pretty awesome watch, I gotta tell you my relationship with Ashford.com. They did provide this watch for the review and we get to keep it. They also provided a discount code for you guys. Now, I'm not getting paid for this review other than getting to keep this watch. And also there's no affiliate links, anything like that. Regular price of this watch is $289 US, which is pretty good deal. Now, they also offered a discount code. If you use that discount code, I will leave it linked in the description below. You also get another $20 off, which takes this watch to $269. Pretty crazy value for money proposition. So what do you get for your $269? When people ask me for a recommendation for a first quote-unquote serious watch, something that's Swiss-made, something that's tough, and something that's somewhat affordable, my go-to is Hamilton Khaki Field Watch. It's a great automatic timepiece. It has a display case back so you can look at the movement. It has 100 meters of water resistance. The design is not too offensive and pretty much universally liked, and it fits a large array of wrists. This watch here might be my number 2 recommendation. Now, it's not as versatile as the Field Watch, and it's slightly larger, so it's not going to fit as many wrists, but the specs speak for themselves, and this one is cheaper even without the discount code. I personally prefer the look and the feel of this pilot's watch over the Field Watch, but to each their own. Now let's talk about the case dimensions on this pilot watch. It has a 42mm diameter, so from this point to this point, 50mm from one lug to another, so from this point to this point, 20mm lug width, and it's only 11.2mm thick. Let's compare this 42mm Hamilton to another 42mm watch. This one is Seiko SKX. As you can see, Hamilton does look larger because of its design. It also has longer lug-to-lug distance. However, for a Flieger, for a pilot style watch, this one actually wears really well. Here it is on my 7.5 inches wrist. Pilot watches tend to be larger. They have to be larger. They have to be very legible. And some of them are just a little bit over the top. I really don't like these 46, 47mm pilot watches. They're just not for me. This one at 42mm does wear larger. It probably wears closer to 43, 44, but it's not too bad. I can recommend this watch for a wide variety of different wrist sizes. It's a very comfortable watch to wear. The only problem with the comfort that I see is that the leather strap is a little bit tight. It might take you a few days to a few weeks to really wear it in where it becomes comfortable. But on the plus side, the leather strap is nice and thick and it fits the aesthetic of this pilot watch. The crown is nicely tucked away so it doesn't dig into your wrist, and it has a comfortable weight of 85 grams. The case is made out of 316L stainless steel, all brushed or satin finish, sharp angles. The finishing on this case is fantastic. It looks great and feels much more expensive than $300 would suggest. I mean, the retail price of this watch is more than $300. That's why it feels more expensive. We see a crown at the 3 o'clock position, housed within these two crown guards. It's a sign crown with H for Hamilton. That H is the only part of the watch that's done in high polish. Operation on this crown is very nice and comfortable. First position, date change. Second position, time adjustment. Now, the watch is powered by the Hamilton Caliber H10 automatic movement. It is essentially a modified ETA 2824 movement with the extended power reserve, So the power reserve of this watch is 80 hours as opposed to 42 hours in the ETA movement. It has 25 joules, hacking, hand winding, and of course a date complication. Now speaking of the date complication, I wish it wasn't there. It kind of breaks down the symmetry of this dial. Without the date complication, I think the watch would look even more attractive. What is, however, attractive to look at is the case back. First of all, it's a screw down case back. It's not held in place with screws. It's not a snap in place case back, a proper screw down case back. Some information about the watch written all around, Swiss made, the caliber of the movement, and so forth. And it's a display case back, showing off that movement. There's some writing on the case back, which I wish wasn't there so you can really see the movement. The writing says Team Hamilton, Red Bull Air Race, but you can still see the movement. Which is why I think this makes a perfect first serious watch for someone who's just starting out their watch collection journey. From my experience, it's always nice to be able to see the movement to really appreciate that heartbeat, so to speak. So having a display case back for a first serious watch is a huge plus. It also has a domed sapphire crystal with AR coating. Fantastic distortion angles on the sapphire. Sloped bezel, so actually the sapphire crystal fits within the case very nice and flush. There is no gap, no separation between the case and the crystal. The dial is very nice and legible. It has to be, since this is a pilot watch. It has to be very legible upon the first glance. I like that black and orange color combination. The dial itself is not that simple, even though it might appear simplistic at a first glance. If you look deeper, you can see that the dial is almost like a sandwich dial, where you have the grooves for the Arabic numerals and for the hashes for hour marks cut into the dial and then filled in. There's also a seconds running track done in a very light gray color, and you can only see it if you really look close enough. Hamilton automatic printed closer to the 12 o'clock position, Khaki air race close to the 6 o'clock position, and then all the way at the bottom there, barely perceptible, Swiss made. I also really like the set of hands on this watch. They're semi-skeletonized sword style hands, and that little arrow tip on the seconds hand. The seconds hand is long enough to reach out all the way to the seconds running track. The minutes hand is long enough to reach all the way to the edges of the dial, and the hours hand is just the perfect length. Really, really attractive dial on this watch, although I wish it didn't have a date window. As I mentioned earlier, kind of throws off the symmetry. Also, the dial has appearance kind of a brushed metal. If you look at it from the right angle, if you catch it in the proper lighting conditions, you can see that brushed metal appearance. Plenty of lume on the dial and on the set of hands. Here's a lume shot for you. Sometimes lume in introductory level watches from major brands is kind of lacking. Not the case here. The lume here is great, it lasts for a long time, and it has a solid, even application. This Hamilton pilot watch has 50 meters of water resistance, which is kind of usual for pilot watches, although I wish it had at least 100 meters of water resistance. That would make this watch a lot more versatile, and you could wear it in many more different situations. As it is right now, I wouldn't take this watch swimming. It comes on a leather strap. The leather strap is great. It's nice and thick, with this beautiful white stitching. Brushed hardware. It's kind of a tang buckle with double prongs and the H for Hamilton. Looks really good. No quick release pins though. I guess you can't have everything. The only word of caution that I have about the strap, it's very stiff at first. It might take you a few days to even some weeks to really wear this one in and make it comfortable. In general, the design of this watch is fantastic. It looks great with casual clothing. It is also a really nice fall/winter watch because of that leather strap, because of its thinness, so you can slide under the cuff of the shirt, under the cuff of the jacket, or under your sweater. And just the aesthetic of it fits fall/winter season. Really, really liking this timepiece. So that's the review of Hamilton Khaki Aviation watch. A really cool Flieger pilot style watch. If Ashford.com didn't send me one, I probably would have ended up buying one anyways. If this watch was from a micro brand with the same specs, I would have given it 2 thumbs up and said, hey, this is incredible value for money. but it comes from Hamilton. It has that Hamilton logo on the dial, so you know it's going to keep its value, plus it has a lot of heritage behind it and some cool history behind this timepiece, which makes it even more special. So having a watch like this under $300, that's pretty amazing. But those are just my opinions. You leave your opinions in a comment section below. Let me know what you think about this timepiece. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Leave your thoughts below. Also subscribe to the YouTube channel. We release new videos every week. And give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. By the way, today on my wrist, I'm wearing my Rolex Gmt Master Ii. I did an unboxing video for this watch. That video can be found on the YouTube channel. I will also leave it linked in the description below. Also in the description below, there are a couple of other links. The first link is a secret link. Have a look if you're curious. The second link is a link to bondnativestraps.com if you're looking for a great quality native strap and want to support this YouTube channel at the same time. Buying one of these native straps is a great way to do so. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you had fun, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. You okay, Mr. Bond? Are you ready to film? Here's this. What do you think about this watch? Do you like it? No? Not for you? You became such a watch snob. It's Omega Seamaster or nothing.